Hey everyone, it's Murray Fife here. I thought I'd add a second video to go along with my first video that talked about how you can delegate RFP questions down to AI, at least to get you half of the way so that you can validate and don't have to do all the writing that RFPs tend to ask you to do. So in this case, or actually in the first video that I did, I talked about how to answer the essay questions. And those are a pain in the butt to do and they take a lot of time. But there's also another style of RFP question which you can delegate down to AI so that they can do all the legwork. And that's the quantitative responses. And you've all seen these where you go out and you say, how well do you achieve this capability? So as an example, this is actually one of the RFPs that I'm working on right now, and this is paraphrasing some of the instructions that they gave. So they're going to give me a RFP question or a requirement, and then I've got to rate it from 0 to 4, preferably everything being 4, but we want to make sure that we're not making stuff up. So we want to have this gradient of ranking based on what we can do. So to help me along with this, what I've done is I created a RFP assistant, and I'll put the link of this into the chat so that everyone can access it. But what I've got is I've added instructions here, including the gradient sort of markings that I need. And what I did is I said, you're an AI assistant, they're helping with RFP proposals. So answer it, but answer it with regards to Dynamics 365. Then also explain how we can achieve it, because I want to have some background that I can check and validate, because AI is only so good. It doesn't know everything, or it sometimes makes stuff up. And then also I said indicate the score. So these are based off the RFP instructions that we had. And then I added another link here which says include the citation where possible. So something that in this case OpenAI ChatGPT can do is it can go out and give you links back to the websites where it's grabbed this information. This is really important for cross-referencing and making sure that it's actually in the right direction and so forth. And as with the other response, other video, I went out and said, compare this to SAP Oracle Infor and IFS. So I want to go out and double check this, or I want to see how we rank against the usual suspects out there. So I've got that, and then so now I've got my questions that I can ask. So I'm going to go into my RFP assistant, and this is one of the questions that I used as a test, and it said, can you componentize assets? And can you have a hierarchy of assets and then depreciate individual ones? All these things, common stuff. Maybe not something that you answer every day. So let's have a look and let's run this. And so it's going out and it's talking about the componentization. And it's giving me a score of 4, but also it's giving me the reason why we can do this with parent assets and child assets. We'll need to go out and double check all this. And then also it says it's giving me a comparison now with SAP, Oracle, Infor, and IFS. Now, I can also go out and say, show me the citations here, and we'll see if we can go out and grab some information. So this is going out to the hierarchy management. It's showing asset management here. It's talking about the depreciation books in finance and operations. If I click on this, it'll actually take me down to the details. So there's some background information that we've got here. So this gives us a 4, and we can go and we can just start using this in our responses as we go along. So let's have a look at a couple of other ones. And this one's interesting because it talks about CIES adjusting entries. I've got to admit, I have no idea, or had no idea, about what that was. before I did this. So I'm going to go out and send that through, and it's actually telling me that CIES is the comprehensive income and expenditure statement, so a financial statement in the system. It's got revaluation calculations that are required, and it's scoring us really well. It's giving us a 4. It's also giving Oracle and SAP 4 as well around that. Now, this one was asking about rounding of currencies. Now, I didn't know that we could do this, but it's going out and it's saying that we can actually, should say that we can actually do this and everyone else can do this. But also what it's doing is it's giving us the citation back to the rounding. So I had to double check this, and there actually is a rounding capability in the budgeting where you can go and round up to different currencies. So good to know. I learned something about the system. And then also here's another item around activity-based costing. All of these are really hard questions. They're not easy questions to answer. But this is what it's going out, and it actually says that we've got limited native functionality. So this is an area where we shouldn't rank high. And I know that we don't really have, or in the past I know that we don't really have activity-based costing. So it's going out and it's been objective. It's given us a 2. It's not always giving us a 4. It's talking about third-party extensions that we can use, and then also it's going out to the cost accounting, talking about Power BI, and then sourcing analytics around that. But it's giving us a 2. SAP, Oracle, even Infor and IFS have better activity-based costing capabilities around this. But this is a really easy way to do this. And finally, I can ask about some other things. And the reason why I'm pulling in these examples is these examples are hard. They require a lot of domain expertise, and we can't know everything. But if I look at the revaluation reserves here within the system, then it's going to go out and talk about the revaluation reserve accounting within the system. When I first did this, or when I went through this, I had no idea what this was, but I used all this information. I did some research, and I found this in Dynamics within the fixed assets module. So this is an fixed asset requirement, and there's a report in there, and we can safely say that we achieve all of these pretty well. So this is a really quick overview of how you can go out and use the new AI repositories, because this is knowledge repositories, to go out and do all this hard research that would normally take 10, 15 minutes or an hour or more to get these results out, and also go out and find other experts around this. And we've got all of the information here, and also we've got, again, the citations and the information and the backup details around this, so that we've got justification as to why this is correct. Because RFPs, you want to be truthfully complete in the responses here. You can't go out and just say 44444 all the way down. And if you need to have some sort of backing documentation or reasons around that, then this is great. So I love this because it saves me a lot of time. And what I'm doing now is, instead of doing a lot of research, finding out this information, or searching for people with this information, I can find out the general direction and the general capability that's out there, then do my own quick personal research to validate that this is correct, and then move on to the next item and do some work which is a lot more exciting than answering RFPs, which is the bane of everyone's existence. So hopefully this was useful to everybody and interesting, and gives you a tool that gives you a couple of hours back to your life that you normally have to be suffering through RFP nightmares with answering all these questions. So hope this is useful, and if anyone has any questions, then you can contact me, find me on LinkedIn, all the common stuff, and I'll post more later on.